Funny story. I remember being in a Sam Goody with one of my friends, and he chose this album, and I went with the High School High soundtrack.
Wow. Isn't there
Time will tell on that High School High soundtrack?
Well,
man.
you know, my line of thinking was there was more variety.
This is Podcast New York.
What's up, Dueling Decades? This is Wax. Peace to all you guys, and thanks for having me on the show. Will it be the 90s or the 80s? Beanie Babies or Crack Babies? Will it be Nirvana or Madonna? Maybe Britney, maybe Whitney. Do you like new metal or new wave? Dave Grohl or Super Dave? I don't know. But now the battle begins. Dueling Decades. Let's see who wins.
Dueling Decades.
Broadcasting from the Podcast New York studios, it's another all-new Dueling Decades, the adult-only retro game show where the decades battle for supremacy because it's your history. We just fight for it. Welcome back. I am Marc James, and this week I will be representing the best of June 1985 alongside the other duelers and the decades they will be fighting for. First off, he likes the nightlife. He's got to boogie. Say hello to Mancrush.
Were you looking at my picks?
No.
Because it feels like you were looking at my picks with that. But he's correct. I have June of 1975. Lots of boogieing, disco, and probably cocaine and sweatiness. But let's see what everybody else has.
Also joining us on the panel is a man who for most of his life has been living in the gangster's paradise. Please welcome the incomparable Mike Ranger.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Ranger. It's my first day on the job, and I've come to you with the wrong homework assignment, the best of 1996. Some of my picks are in June.
We just talked about this at length, but I think this is going to be interesting because I think from this episode, we're going to see how 1996 was actually my graduation year, not a terrible year. We get to see how that whole year stacks up against a couple months in the 80s and 70s. So, or 70s and 80s, however you want to look at it. But way to go, Mike.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for the kind words and not verbally chastising me.
Not yet.
And as always here on the show, we need somebody to adjudicate all of this awesomeness. So he's back, the Brazen Badass from Beantown, the host of the Selling Out Show. All rise for Judge Dave Schultz.
Hello. I'm so happy to be back. And Mike, actually, even though he did screw up his homework, kind of has an advantage because 1996 was a hell of a year. Now he can pick freely from whatever he wants. But I do have to say this, June is the month of my birthday. So it's going to take a lot to impress me, boys. Do your best.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest will be held under Dueling Decades rules. The judges' coin flip shall decide who picks first out of the 5 Dueling Decades categories: movies, television, music, news, and hot products. A judge's ruling will determine who wins each round, allowing the victor to choose the next available category. The first 3 rounds are worth 1 point each, with rounds 4 and 5 worth 2 points apiece. And in the event of a tie, after all 5 rounds, we will go to a final wild card round. Remember, duelers, to review the show. Like, subscribe, and play along at home. It's time for more Dueling Decades. All right, let's go right over to our guest judge for tonight, Mr. Dave Schultz.
All right, I like to bring unique things to flip, to throw in the air. And this time I brought a shiny object, but it's not pointy. It won't hurt you, so it's not a fork or a knife. Yet instead, I brought a empty wrapper for Mad Magazine trading cards from 1992. I happen to be a big Mad fan. I don't think Mancrush is. Mark, you like Mad?
I did. I had a lot. I love.
Oh, did you?
Mad. Yeah, I have lots of Mad Mag. I just want to ask you though, what are the cards and how long ago did you take them out?
Oh, I don't know. I got these not so long ago, but they're sitting somewhere. I did open them because I just couldn't bear not to know what was inside. So, but I did keep the wrapper.
Wondering
too,
why you had
weird.
an empty wrap. Oh yeah, I was like, why do you have an empty wrapper?
Because I'm a collector, and that's what collectors do. Strange stuff.
Wait, you have other rappers as well?
I think I might have some more Mad magazines.
Nobody cares. All right, let's just go.
Anyway, so the front of this wrapper, this shiny wrapper, has Alfred E. Newman on it. I don't know if people can see it here on the video, so I'm describing it. And on the back, the card company Lime Rock. In the UPC code. So heads will be Alfred, and the back will be the UPC. So.
All right. So this week, the coin toss will be between Mike Ranger and Mancrush. Mancrush, why don't you call it this week?
Wow. I never call these. Let's go heads. There's a lot of cool shit on the front there.
Yeah, it is very awesome. Let's go. And it is tails. You lose. You stink. Mike, it's all you, baby.
It barely rotated.
All right, Mike Ranger, you won the coin toss. You get to go first. What category are we going with?
Well, that's a good question, Mark. I don't even know if I deserve a pick, considering how bad I fucked this up. But
I think you have to start with a June.
I think you're right. You're right, because I actually, while we were sitting here and I was sulking and I was ready to cry, I did a little bit of digging here, and let's see, where will we go? Where are we going to start with? All right, you know what? Let's start with music. Ooh. On June 25th, 1996, on Rockefeller and Priority Records came the debut album by Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, featuring production by DJ Premier, Jaz-O, and Clark Kent, and guest appearances by Memphis Bleak, Mary J. Blige, The Notorious B.I.G., Sauce Money, and Big Jazz. The 14-track album explores the hustler lifestyle and mafia themes over the album's nearly 60-minute runtime. Though not an immediate success, the album only sold about 420,000 copies in its first year. The album featured 4 singles, which only one reached the top 40. On February 7, 2002, the album was certified platinum by the RIAA, but remains the lowest charting album of Jay-Z's career. Despite the numbers, this is my favorite offering from Jay-Z and is considered a landmark album for the hip-hop culture. Funny story, I remember being in a Sam Goody with one of my friends, and he chose this album, and I went with the High School High soundtrack.
Wow. Isn't there
Time will tell on that High School High soundtrack?
Well,
man.
you know, my line of thinking was there was more variety.
Yeah.
I lost.
Not bad.
I lost.
But that has a lot of variety on it too. He's got a lot of collaborations on there still, doesn't he?
Well, he's got collaborations, but like outside of like the producers, like obviously you have Biggie on there, but Memphis Bleak is from his neighborhood. Nobody knows who he is yet. Yeah, you have Mary J. Blige. You do have Foxy Brown on it, but it's Foxy Brown. It's early Foxy Brown. You kind of.
Well, it's all songs about pussy and cum and fucking either way, right?
Well, that's a little bit more Little Kim. However,
okay. I thought Foxy did that too.
She does it a little bit, not quite as much.
Just on the weekends.
You know.
Only in the summertime.
All right, Mancrush, what did you bring for the music round?
Well, that's hard to stack up against. But it's June, so it's fair game. So let's go June 10th, 1975. And for the first time in a while, I couldn't find a musical track that could really get behind here. And you're just dealt with the hand you're given unless you're Mike Ranger, where you choose the entire year. So, you know, you either love this song, you hate this song, but everyone knows this song. And being that this is 1975 and discos are starting to take off like no other, it's no wonder that this song would hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 twice. This track, it hit #1 in November. It got knocked out by another disco track. And then it came back to regain that #1 slot within the same month. I think it was like in December. So within 30 days, it picked it up again. And apparently this is not something that happens very often. So at least it had that going for it. But when you look at the lyrics, this is a sexually inspired disco track. All right. They use the same word in this song 86 motherfucking times. 86. I counted them one at a time. I actually, the first time I counted, I got 88, but then I went back and I redid it. I'm pretty sure it's 86, but if it's 88, give me credit for that too. It's a short word, but it's a word that it's used to express satisfaction, triumph, or a surprise. And depending on where you look at this song for the lyrics, it's spelled either aha or uh-huh. All right. So I'm torn. I think it works either way. Interestingly, the original version of this song that they wanted to release sounded much more sexual. It had moans in it of pleasure. But luckily for everyone, they toned that shit down because, the sexual undertones of the song. I mean, what they did actually in 1975, they lumped this into a niche that they called sex rock. Not even disco, they called it sex rock. And apparently sex rock was heavily opposed by Jesse Jackson, of all people, who he was pressuring the music distributors through what he had a thing called Operation Push. It was people united to save humanity, but they failed to do anything. So there's that. But the whole thing is kind of funny to me because I remember the song from a 90s Burger King commercial, and there ain't nothing sexual about that. Although, Mark, you might remember this when we did Poop Culture. There was a viral video going around about a guy having sexual relations with a Big Mac.
No, it was a chicken sandwich.
Oh, it was a chicken sandwich.
Yes, it was a chicken sandwich.
But it was a McDonald's chicken sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So lots of mayonnaise.
Chicken sandwich.
Good lube, obviously. So McDonald's, they missed the boat. Excellent marketing opportunity. They could have brought this back. Yeah. I think that was like 2016 or 2017. It is what it is. But I give you, it's KC and the Sunshine Band. That's the way. I like it. And that. I'm telling you, look at the lyrics, and you're gonna be like, "What?" But yeah, that over Jay-Z, probably.
Wow, nice. KC and the Sunshine Band, also the nickname for my dick and balls.
Yeah, so I mean, that's good. I like it.
So it's a 3-piece band.
Right. All right, guys. So we'll go 10 years to the day ahead of Mancrush's pick. For my music selection this week, it was released on June 10th, 1985. And it sold 2 million albums off the back of 2 big singles. One is a song about a hippie chick that once told the lead singer of this band that she used to drop acid and lay in a field next to the Yoo-Hoo factory in Baltimore and hallucinate about her having like an out-of-body experience and just flying out of her body amongst all the houses. The other song is a joyous look at the apocalypse sent to an up-tempo Zydeco beat. I give you Little Creatures by Talking Heads. With the hit singles And She Was and Road to Nowhere. And She Was, it reached number 54 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Now, drummer Chris Franz said of the song, it's a story about a woman who has the power to levitate above the ground and check out all of her neighbors, all from kind of like a bird's eye view. Now, the guy who's writing the song, he's in love with her, and he kind of wishes she would be, kind of more normal and just come back down to the ground. Now, the other big track on that album, Road to Nowhere, it made it to number 25 on the Billboard mainstream rock tracks, and it appeared in Little Monsters and in Reality Bites, 2 movies that are absolutely nothing alike. So as an album, Little Creatures peaked at number 20 on the U.S. Billboard 200, and in a 1985 review, Rob Teidenbaum of Rolling Stone said, Burn & Company presents an album that tries to shrug off their weighty reputation. The songs are simple and clearly rooted in pop structures. Burn injects a feeling of lyrical giddiness that almost makes them sound like a different band. So I give you Little Creatures by Talking Heads, a band that I don't think comes up enough on this show. Big fan of their work. June 10th, 1985.
It's the same way I felt about KC and Sunshine Band, so I brought it up.
All right, let's kick it over to our guest judge, Dave Schultz, for the ruling on the music round.
Okay, I guess I'm going to be the one that brings this up. Okay, this is usually Mancrush's duty, but I'm taking the mantle tonight. With this music category, I'm looking for something that has legs. Okay? Something that just survives the test of time and is just quality goods. Now, with Mike, the Jay-Z album, I'm not really a Jay-Z fan, so I'm not familiar with it. I do realize that, launched this monster career, and this guy is loaded beyond belief. Doesn't he own the Brooklyn Nets and stuff? And he's married to Beyonce. I mean, come on, that's impressive, right?
I think he sold part of his ownership in the Nets.
Oh, he sold something? Well, yeah.
He's still loaded.
Good for him. Yeah, poor bastard. Oh, no, I just sold some of my ownership.
It's not doing good this year.
Yeah, right. Mark, I like your pick. I really do. Even though I'm very interested in this whole Yoo-Hoo Factory thing. I really am.
It was a girl that David Byrne went to high school with. And she was telling about how she used to drop acid and lay in this field that was right next to the Yoo-Hoo factory. And he just thought the imagery of somebody having like an outer body experience surrounded by the fast food and corporate world was kind of an interesting visual.
Yeah. Imagine if she was taking acid in a field next to her Kmart. You might not have gotten the same the same album here. It's really Yoo-Hoo is the linchpin. So that's very interesting to me.
Blue Light Special.
1975 Mancrush. I'm a little upset with you. I'm displeased with you right now because
why? Because it wasn't a wrestling pick.
No, nothing to do with wrestling. Don't even talk about wrestling with me. Don't do that. Because when I came with the Mad Magazine wrapper to flip, you were kind of giving me shit about having an empty wrapper. Yet you confessed to counting all the was it ahas in this song? Not once.
Research.
Yeah, research, but twice, and you had it wrong the first time. So. Come on.
That's why we do it twice. Make sure that you get it right.
Okay, whatever. And then
actually, I'll the second time I actually opened it up in a full page and did a find and realized that it just showed you the number. But the first time I actually did count it.
But did you listen to it and count it, or you just look at the lyrics and count it?
No, I looked at the lyrics. There's no way I'd be dancing all over the place.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't be able to stop those hips from shaking. I do like the fact that there was a group called Push that was fighting against the sexual innuendo
by Jesse
in the music industry. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Push. Think about that for a second. Thanks to your pick, now I know sex rock beats pet rock. This is very important to me. And I actually owned a Casey and the Sunshine Band CD back in the day. I think it was actually 1996. So to harken back to Mike's year. Just because I thought it'd be cool. Like, I you know what I mean? Like, you have all your CDs and you're like, yeah, look how diverse I am. Look how cool I am. I got like metal, rock. Oh, yeah, I got some Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Somebody put it on. You're like, no, yeah.
Well,
I like to listen to it sometimes.
I found out that's what Mark names his twig and berries. So I had to smash it and throw it away. But back to the whole legs thing, right? If you ask me, which song or album's going to make you get up, boogie, feel good, all that good stuff, I think we gotta give 1975 the win here. Woo! With Casey and the Sunshine Band. That's the way. I like it.
Now, if that's a sex song, you would figure that gets people hot. Does it get you hot?
But you're asking me?
Yeah, I mean,
why don't you guys answer that first, and I'll jump in later.
I would say no.
Okay.
But I think if they took that song and they put it to the chicken sandwich video, I think it would be even more viral.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
If that song was outside of a Yoo-Hoo factory, my dick would be in every bottle of fucking Yoo-Hoo. It'd be fucking crazy. I'd be sore for months.
Thank God it's got that wide top, huh?
Yeah, I need it.